Yuri Olesha was a Soviet writer and playwright, born on March 3, 1899, in Elizavetgrad, Ukraine, now Kropivnitsky. He is best known for his satirical and humorous works, which challenged the prevailing cultural norms and values of Soviet society during the 1920s and 1930s. Olesha's early education was in a religious school, but he later attended a gymnasium and went on to study law at Kiev University. However, his interest in literature soon led him to switch to the literary department. In 1922, Olesha moved to Moscow and became involved in the literary and cultural circles of the time. His literary career began in 1924 with the publication of his first short story, Envy, which quickly gained popularity and was followed by a collection of short stories titled Three Fat Men in 1927. His most famous work, the novel Envy, 1927, is a satirical portrayal of Soviet society that explores the themes of individualism, envy, and social conformity. The book was well received by critics, but its anti-Soviet undertones led to Olesha being briefly banned from publishing. Olesha's other notable works include the plays The Possessed, 1927, and Talent, 1935. As well as the novel No Day Without a Line, 1939, which reflects his own struggles as a writer during the Stalinist era. During World War II, Olesha worked as a war correspondent for the Soviet press, and his experiences during this time influenced his later works. He died on May 10, 1960, in Moscow, at the age of 61. Despite his relatively short career, Olesha is considered one of the most important Soviet writers of the early 20th century and a master of satire and humor. Olesha's works continue to be influential after his death, with his novel Envy becoming a classic of Russian literature. His unique blend of satire, humor, and social commentary influenced other writers and artists in the Soviet Union and beyond. However, Olesha's legacy has been somewhat controversial. Some critics have accused him of being too accommodating to the Soviet regime and of downplaying the horrors of Stalinism in his writing. Others have praised him for his boldness and his ability to subvert Soviet propaganda through his use of satire and humor. In recent years, there has been a renewed interest in Olesha's work, both in Russia and abroad. His writings continue to be studied and analyzed by scholars, and new translations of his work have been published in English and other languages. Overall, Yuri Olesha remains an important figure in Russian literature, known for his wit, insight, and his unique contribution to the tradition of satire and social commentary. One of the interesting aspects of Olesha's writing is his use of language. He was known for his distinctive style, which combined elements of the traditional Russian literary language with the colloquial language of the streets. His use of neologisms and slang was seen as innovative at the time, and contributed to the modernization of the Russian language. In addition to his literary achievements, Olesha was also involved in cultural and political activities. He was a member of the Union of Soviet Writers and served as the editor of several literary journals. He was also active in the Communist Party, although he was never a leader.